The majority of work the National Trust does is often overshadowed by the common misconception that the Trust is only about old houses. This is far from the case, so I decided to make this short video of the time I spent as a full-time volunteer with the countryside team at Lanhydrock. With almost 1,000 acres of ancient woodland, heath, riverside and parkland centred around the house itself, the nature of the work was very varied but still had a strong forestry element. All of this was part of the process of acquiring the experience I needed to secure the paid job I now have with the National Trust in Northern Ireland. Naturally I couldn't be filming all the time as I wouldn't be doing any work, but here's a little insight into the work the coastal and countryside wardens do on the land the National Trust has acquired around England, Wales and Northern Ireland to protect, maintain and conserve, forever, for everyone. One of the many ongoing projects at Lanhydrock is the creation of riverbank windows along the 2-mile stretch of the River Foy that runs through the estate. Around 30 years ago the entire stretch was cleared. As a result, the age structure of the trees along the bank are much the same. It may seem harsh, but by clearing these windows it allows the sunlight in. This in turn helps to raise the water temperature, creating more favourable conditions for water invertebrates, and in turn this creates more food for the fish and bird life along the river. A portion of the River Foy is flanked by the station drive. This private carriageway running from the avenue to Bodmin train station holds a selection of trees from around the world. Unfortunately, there is also a heavy infestation of rhododendron ponticum and laurel. These plants were originally planted for game cover but now block out light and the understory of the woodlands, dominating and preventing any new native tree saplings to grow. Additionally, the ponticum variety of rhododendron is also known to harbour the sudden oak death fungus. There is currently a nationwide drive to prevent the fungus from taking hold in ancient UK woodlands, as it can devastate the oaks in a matter of a couple of years. The stumps of the laurel and rhododendron are then treated with concentrated version of the commonly used pesticide Roundup. This pesticide neutralises on contact with the soil and so proves very safe to use in the public environment. Any subsequent regrowth in following years is spot sprayed to ensure a total clearance. With many of the trees in the parkland reaching or past maturity, recent years have seen a lot of windfalls. Much of the late winter and spring months are spent clearing these trees. Felled wood from the estate does not go to waste. Most of the wood is logged for use in the wood stoves for many of the small houses that make up the estate. Brash is chipped and used for mulch on the estate as well as being sold. The larger trees that are felled for health and safety reasons due to heavy rot, damage or have been windblown, if in good condition, are sent to a local sawmill to be cut and used back on the estate for fencing, benches and signs. Generally, the sweet chestnut and oak are used for this. The beechwood is sold and made into wedges and blocks for harbours and shipyards around the Cornish coast. The lengths of wood that are not viable for use because of splits and rot are usually left in place to break down naturally, providing a habitat and food source for many creatures. When they have to be moved, such as in the areas of semi-formal parkland immediately surrounding the main house, it is centralised into wood dumps to be left for the invertebrates and fungi to do the rest. Of course, new saplings are planted to replace the lost trees. Where possible, shadow planting has taken place so as to establish replacement trees before the old fall. For more information about the National Trust and what we do, visit the National Trust website at nationaltrust.org.uk.